Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to Perks of Persecution, aka the Pop. I am Marche Hartnett, and I am your host. I would like to welcome you back to episode 2. I thank you for choosing to journey with me. I thank you for following my story, as I share my testimony and my experiences. So I'm truly grateful for all of your support. And this is episode 2. I'll give you a brief recap of episode 1. Episode 1, I talked about rejection, and I talked about some of my experiences as it relates to rejection. And of course, I could never go into all the rejection that I have experienced because I have experienced a whole lot. But I wanted to share my experiences and hopefully encourage you and inspire you as it relates to some of your rejection experiences. I pray that it blessed you. I pray that you were inspired to keep on moving forward. I know I was blessed. And I want you guys to remember that the sole reason for me even doing Perks of Persecution is because I want to heal from the inside out. I want to truly be real. I want to truly be transparent. I want to truly heal. I don't want to walk around pretending to be healed and still holding grudges and still holding baggage. I want to truly be healed. And I know that when you talk about a thing and when you share a thing, I know that that has the potential to heal you wholeheartedly. Of course, with God's help. But I know that talking about it always gives you closure and gives you victory over that thing. So I pray that my sharing helps you to overcome whatever it is that you experience. And I pray that you'll keep on hanging out with me and allowing me to pour out my heart. On today, my topic is go get your favor. And I chose this topic because I sat and I thought about all the times that God has favored me, the ones that I can remember, because there's been so many. But I thought about how he favors me and how he consistently and continuously favors me. But I also thought about the requirement of me to receive of that favor. I think about each time that he has favored me, I've positioned myself to work. I've been in the process of working and putting my hands to something fruitful and positive. And as a result of my work, he's favored me in the situation. Specifically, I'll tell you about my business. I started Purpose Printing in 2012, and I started the business because I was the parent of a senior, and the expenses of graduation and the graduation invitations and everything that comes with it was so expensive. And I saw and I met so many parents who couldn't afford to do it. And it grieved me because I wanted to help. And of course you can't give everybody that needs help finances, but God dropped in my spirit to try and create custom invitations, graduation invitations, and I did. And that's where my business started from. And since then, I started in 2012 and it's now 2017. And since then, I just believe that God has favored my business. My business name is getting out there. I'm able to bless other people. Yes, I charge, but I'm not charging as much as a Jostens or the high schools or Glamour Craft is charging. I'm making it reasonable so that people can get the experience of birthdays and baby showers and seniors and all that good stuff. But when I started this business, I did it because I wanted to bless another. I removed me. Yes, I could afford my daughters. Thank God he had provided for me. But because other people couldn't, I wanted to help them. And so I was selfless. I removed myself and I created this to help another. And because of that selflessness, God favored my business and he continues to favor my business. Because of that, when you are favored, you have to remove self. God doesn't favor us so that we can sit at the top and look down on everyone. God favors us so that we can go back and give somebody else some favor, that we can go back and bless somebody else. The favor is consistent when you are consistently putting your hands to a thing, a positive thing, and enhancing the life of another person. God favors us when we give not in our own being, not what we can, but he favors us when we take what he's favored and favor another person. So I just believe that we have to be determined to go and get our favor. We can't sit on our butt and wait for somebody to hand us over some favor. Yes, those things do happen. Hence the pay it forward in the drive-through. You were just in the drive-through to get your lunch, and someone paid for your food. Yes, that was favor. But a lot of times in those instances, that favor comes at a time when you've had a bad day, you feel unworthy, or it's the last $7 to your name, but you chose to spend it on a drive-through knowing that you didn't need it. God provides favor in countless ways. There's so many different avenues that he'll take us down. What I have learned is we can't get to favor when we're not in the lane of our favor. Meaning, if God is raining down favor and I'm not in the place of working and being diligent in my lane, my favor then misses my lap. It misses me. And it has the potential to fall in the lap of someone else who is in place and prepared for it. They're ready to receive of it. A lot of times we miss our opportunity to be favored because we're so busy wondering what Shanae is doing and trying to move over there in Shanae's lane and in her setting and of what God has ordained for her, looking for the same type of favor that she has. But a lot of times we've missed our favor just because we're out of place. Be in place. I have made up my mind that I will be in place. I will stay in my lane. I will attempt to do it the way that God has called me to do it. And when I fall short, because I'm going to fall short, when I fall short, I have made up my mind to get my butt up and realign on my path of favor. With this topic, I studied Ruth, the book of Ruth, chapter 1 and 2. And I thought about, I know a lot of people study this book and they think about the Boaz part of it. And because every woman wants the handsome man to love and cherish them for the rest of their lives. But in my perspective on today, I thought about the way that favor was all throughout chapter 1 and 2. In this book, Naomi is a mother. She's a wise woman. She's a woman of age. And she has 2 sons and a husband. Her 2 sons are married to two Moab women, and one of those women is Ruth. Well, Naomi's husband takes them to the city of Moab, and while they're there, her husband died. Naomi's husband dies, and her 2 sons die. So Naomi has now decided that she's going to move back to her city, the city of Judah, because she's heard of the favor that rests in her land. Sometimes you can hear about the favor that's in a place and you'll get an unction to go there. But when we move out of place because of what we've heard and we haven't been unctioned by the Holy Spirit, we're out of place. We're out of our path. We're off our path. We're off our course, and we're potentially about to miss our favor. But in this case, Naomi had an unction to move back home because of what she'd heard. And I just imagine Naomi to be depressed, to probably be bitter because she's lost her husband, her 2 sons. She feels as though she doesn't have anything else. So she's going back home because maybe somebody there will help me. But think about it. As she's going back, I'm sure she replayed that people there in her land are probably talking about her because she went over here and now her man and her kids is gone, and she probably has some who are pitying her, and so I'm sure she was thinking about all this as she decided to move back to the land of favor is what I'm going to call it. So but she still yet decided to move back to the land of favor. We have to be okay with going back to a place. Sometimes we have to go back to a place to align with the favor that God has prepared for us because he prepared it for us over there. We can't let pride get in the way of us going back. Yeah, they talked about us. Yeah, there are memories, some good, probably a lot bad, but God has placed our favor over there and you've got an unction to go. You have a requirement to get to your favor. So as Naomi prepares to go, she tells her daughter-in-law Ruth not to come. She tells both of her daughter-in-laws not to come, but specifically I'm talking about Ruth. She tells Ruth she doesn't need to come. Naomi basically says, I ain't got nothing for you. My kid's gone. I don't have no more kids for you to marry, so you may as well stay here with your people. Ruth took that no and continued to drill and drill Naomi because she was determined to go. Why was she determined to go? I believe that Ruth was determined to go because of her loyalty. Side note, Ruth is David's great grandmother. Remember episode 1, I told you about David and how loyal he was to Saul. So we see that the loyalty runs in their family. So Ruth was probably following Naomi to be loyal to her. I imagine Ruth saying, my mother-in-law doesn't have anyone. She's been good to me. There's no possible way I can let her go back by herself. She's up in age. She needs me. And so Ruth is determined to go with Naomi. Every no that she said, Ruth still yet said, I am going. And think about it. We've got to be determined to get to our favor. Go get your favor. We've got to be determined to go get to it. We can't sit and wait for it. We've got to diligently seek it. We've got to, if it comes from God, and I believe that all favor comes from God, then we've got to diligently seek it. So Ruth was determined even with the no. Don't let the no discourage you from going to get your favor. Don't let the he say, she say discourage you from going to get your favor. Don't let the thoughts of other people discourage you from going to get your favor. Be yet determined to go and get your favor. So Ruth is determined to go with Naomi. And they get back to Naomi's land. And while they're there, Ruth is still thinking selfless. She's still thinking selfless. And Ruth tells Naomi, let me go out and get us some food. Let me go out and hustle for us. Let me go out and grind for us. You know, I know you're in old age, and I know that I have the energy to go out and work my fingers to the bone for us. Let us go. And let me go. And Naomi released her to go. And lo and behold, Ruth ends up in the field of a rich man. And in this field, she's working sun up to sun down, picking up they scraps, picking up the scraps that the workers are dropping. She's picking it up. She's working so hard that the other workers and the servants of Boaz, the rich man, they take notice of her. Just so happened, Boaz is in his field from the city of Bethlehem. Just so happened. And he too takes notice of Ruth and how hard she's working. He takes so much notice of her that he asks who she is. Somebody say, here comes favor. Here comes favor. So he takes notice of who she is, and he asks her, and he speaks to her and tells her, and she tells him, you know, she's Naomi's daughter-in-law pretty much, and he invites her to sup with him. And as she sups, she eats everything that she wants. She gets good and full, and she still yet has so much left over. When you are favored, God will give you so much that you'll have enough left over to bless somebody else. Now, Ruth was able to package up her leftovers and take them back to Naomi. She found favor. She found favor so much so because of her diligence to work that that Boaz told his workers and his servants to allow her to get as much as she wants, and even leave more. Drop more for her to pick up. That's favor because of she was in a place of work. She was in a place of surrendering herself for the betterment of her, not just her, but her mother-in-law too. We get so caught up in it. My 3 and that's it. My 4, no more. All of that. We get so caught up in that. How can favor find you if you want to take all the favor and hold it and grasp it and sit up at the top and look down at everybody? That's not what it's about. So Ruth gets her leftovers, and she goes back to Naomi, and here's where being connected to a wise woman comes into play. Y'all, as young women, as young men, as young people, we've got to connect to wisdom. Not wisdom that wants to get to know your business and go and share your business and tell them you said and they did. Not that type of wisdom, because Lord knows we don't need no more drama. But that's another situation. But she's connected to wisdom, and just by her bringing leftovers and bringing so much food that she had gathered, Naomi noticed that Ruth has found favor, and Naomi asked her, "Who has favored you?" Wise women and wise men, those of wise of a wise man mindset, are able to look at you and see the favor on you. And a lot of times we don't even recognize that we've been favored. We got it bad, saying, oh, it just so happened. It just so happened. But that's favor. Just so happened equals favor. And we have to position in our minds and change our perspective and the scope of our perspective to believe that we are worthy of being favored, and we are favored. So when the blessings do begin to fall and we begin to get the exclusive entry to a thing, that is because of the favor of God. So the wise woman Naomi tells Ruth that, yes, you've been favored. He's taken notice of you. And then she teaches her how to remain humble. She teaches her how to go back into the field and how to thank him, pretty much, for favoring her. Sometimes we get the favor, and God uses someone to favor us, and we forget that God used them to favor us. Yes, the glory belongs to God. No, in no shape, form, or fashion does it belong to anyone else. However, we do owe it to the being that he used to show them that we're grateful. Don't become so puffed up and prideful that you forget that he has created an opportunity, that they have created an opportunity for you. Favor comes with a requirement. Put your hands to work. Get to work. It's not it just so happened when you're at work and you're doing your job and the owners happen to come to the office that day, and they take notice of you because you're working so diligently, and they begin to inquire of you, and then next thing you know, they're promoting you, and now they're allowing you to make decisions for the company because favor has fallen in your lap. It has rained down on you as a result of you working. You didn't go into work saying, I'm going into work because I know favor is there, it's about to fall. No, you went into work because that's your job, because that's, you get a paycheck, because it's what you do, is because you love it, or lack thereof. But favor falls on you as you work, as you are in the midst of putting your hands to something positive for the benefit of another. Favor will find you. So today I encourage you to go get your favor. Go get your favor. Go get your favor. It's not about what they're doing over here on the right. It's not about what they're doing on the left. It's about going to get your favor, which means you have to be in your lane, which means you have to be doing what he has called you to do. Stay faithful to what he is telling you to do, because favor rests there. When you are walking in your destiny, you will end up finding yourself on Favor Boulevard. Your destiny and favor coexist. When you find yourself walking in your destiny, you will find favor. Favor is going to be there. It's got to happen. If it didn't, God wouldn't be who he says that he is, and we know that he is who he is. So on today, be encouraged. Go get your favor. Don't let the no's deter you from your favor. And when you get a chance, if you haven't already, read Ruth chapter 1 and 2 and think about it from the aspect of favor. I pray that it blesses you the way that it blessed me. I hope you will join me for episode 3 of Perks of Persecution, aka the P.O.P. Subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for all of your support. I really, really need it. I enjoy it. Criticism, everything. I enjoyed it. Thank you.